On today's video, I'm going to be taking you on a driving tour through some of the new communities planned for next year right here in Gunter, Texas, including Sunset Ranch, Platinum Ranch, and Taylor Ranch. I'll be breaking down what to expect in this area as Gunter continues to grow, from future developments and amenities to the pros and cons of living out here, and what's driving people to make the move north. We'll talk about what's planned for the future, what these neighborhoods are going to look like once they're complete, where they're located, and give you some background on the overall vision for Gunter's growth. So if you've been curious about what's next for this part of North Texas, you'll definitely want to stick around for this driving tour.
So that makes sense. Hey y'all, welcome back to another video today. You join me on a driving tour over here in Gunter, Texas. So maybe if you clicked on this video, you are looking at new construction in the even greater North Texas area. Gunter, Texas is north of Salina. So back in the day, it was Frisco, Texas. Then the developments came to Prosper, Texas. Right now it's Salina, Texas. And you're up next, Gunter. There are some new communities coming soon. There's one community that we're headed to right now, Sunset Ranch, that is already breaking ground and is gonna start building trophy signature homes here soon. So we'll be driving by that. And then we're gonna go over to Platinum Ranch, which is gonna be one of the biggest master plan communities set for Gunter, Texas, and also Taylor Ranch. You can see over on the right side through the trees, this is where Sunset Ranch is going to be. Now within this community, it is not gonna be as big as Platinum Ranch, but it is gonna be about the same size as Taylor Ranch. So if you're still looking for a decent amount of homes, but you don't wanna be overwhelmed by the huge master plan community type of vibe, this neighborhood might be a good option. Now the starting prices in here are gonna be about $300,000. For all three of these neighborhoods, they're gonna share the same tax rate in school zoning. Now in the future, for like Platinum Ranch, they are gonna build some more on-site schools there. So over time, and this is gonna be like a 5 to 10 year project. Now this neighborhood over here to the right, this is gonna start breaking ground in terms of build from scratch homes. You can already see they've started breaking ground, and actually they have the road almost done here, and they got the sign out, but they say winter 2025. We're right off Fox Lane, just south of Hunt Road and north of Marley Road, right off Preston Road. This neighborhood is gonna be over towards the east side of Gunter, Texas, just south of downtown Gunter. This is just north of Salina, right on the Grayson County line. So this is for Grayson County in here. And the tax rate is also gonna be the same with all three at about 2.29%. So a little bit higher tax rate over here. Probably still gonna be dealing with some PIDs in some of these master plan communities. That's just how it goes. And then if you also notice the big steel poles they're putting up right now, there is some more infrastructure being laid down, and they're gonna have a power line structure running through this Sunset Ranch neighborhood. So just kind of come check out the area, be cautious of what lots you choose. I'm not even sure right now what lots are gonna be the best in that neighborhood, because they're literally putting out these huge power lines right now at this very moment. But for this neighborhood, pros in here, you're gonna have a little bit easier access to 75 highway compared to the other neighborhoods that we're going to be looking at today. The other neighborhoods are going to be kind of closer connected with the Grayson County Toll Road corridor, which is that same corridor that's going to be bringing up the Dallas North Tollway. But once again, this is like a 10 to 15 year project. So I am talking about these things, but it's not really going to be a thing for a while, but just kind of something to keep note of. Where this neighborhood is located, Sunset Ranch, going out more towards the east would take you out to 75 highway. That's probably about a 10 to 15 minute drive, depending on how well traffic is and connecting out to things. A lot of these roads around here are farm to market or county roads, so you're not dealing with a bunch of stoplights, but they are going under new construction. So over in Weston, Texas, there are a lot of roads that are down to 1 lanes because they're expanding some things out and working on some bridges. So you'll be going through some of the growing pains along here. But I do think this video is gonna be kind of cool in 10 years from now to kind of look back at Grayson County and Gunter, Texas, because a lot of this stuff you're looking at right now in 10 years from now is going to be completely different. Another thing with Sunset Ranch that's going to be cool is you're going to have a bunch of amenities in there. So they're talking about basketball courts, pickleball courts, playgrounds, pools, splash area. So you are going to get those amenities. Now HOA hasn't been decided, nothing like that. They are saying starting prices are in the 300s. So I would say probably budget around $400 to $450 for a decent sized lot. in a good part of the neighborhood with a good backyard in a good size home. Those ones starting at 300K are going to be like their smallest floor plans, 1-story homes, and probably their smallest lots in there. You're also going to have convenient access to Preston Road, which is what we're headed to right now, which is 289 once you get up to the Grayson County area, but going left would take you down into Salina, Texas. Now the biggest con right now over in this area, besides like the tax rate and maybe dealing with some PIDs and extra fees here and there, is going to be the commute times. So getting out to banks, shopping, any of that stuff. I would say maybe the person looking up here is already kind of working over in this area, or maybe they work in Salina, Texas. I don't think many people that, or maybe they work over in Anna, Texas, over off 75 Highway. I don't really think this is the buyers for working down in Dallas or even Plano. Like Plano is going to be a commute from this area. Now in 10 years when they build out the tollway corridor and all that kind of stuff, that's going to be great. But really for right now, not going to be the best for commute. And the infrastructure around here is really not that good for lighting. So the roads like 289 that we're on, it's going to be very dark when you're driving at night. Commute times out of here down to Frisco, 35 minutes, 50 minutes to the DFW airport. You could be looking at an hour to go down to Dallas. Also McKinney and Melissa, Texas, that's about 20 minutes away depending on what area of McKinney you're going to. So maybe you are working over in that area. I don't think this is too unreasonable to live up in this area. And you know, if you're working out in Van Alstyne or Sherman, Texas, and that's where I think more people are gonna be working from, is like people buying here, maybe they're gonna be working in Salina or Frisco, but also that maybe someone else is gonna be working, maybe the other spouse in the family is gonna be working up north a little bit more. So I do think this is a good opportunity to get into an area at the very beginning so you can see a little bit more value. Now we're turning on to Fox Wallace. This is gonna be a neighborhood I'm gonna just quickly touch on, not a whole bunch of stuff to talk about. This is gonna be Taylor Ranch in here. Now, first con, and I'm just gonna talk about it because I'm going over it right now, is gonna be the railroad that runs through Gunter, Texas. You don't deal with this railroad system as much when you're over in Salina, Texas, maybe a little bit depending on what neighborhood you're in. Not as much as Prosper, Texas, and maybe there's a couple areas of Frisco, Texas. But up here, how the road runs, hold on, I gotta focus right now. I don't wanna get ran over by this huge truck. How this railroad runs is right off 289. So turning off 289, there are gonna be moments where you're gonna get caught up in the railroad track. So it's not the biggest deal later on in the future because they're gonna build out more things over on this west side. But for most people right now, they're gonna be connecting onto 289. So if they build out these roads and there's not a lot of infrastructure going out towards the west, more people are gonna be taking this 289 road if they live over at Taylor Ranch or Platinum Ranch. And you might get caught up at that train track right there with, you know, train coming through. And I mean, it comes in daily. We're now headed to Taylor Ranch. This is also gonna be a little bit connected with Platinum Ranch, or at least how they're marketing it right now. Not a whole bunch to talk about in here. It's gonna be sharing the same school district. It's also gonna be sharing the same tax rate as the other builds. But this one, the pro here is that it's gonna be connected with Platinum Ranch. It's gonna kind of be like its sister neighborhood on the north side. I think maybe the lots in here are gonna be a little bit better and bigger, and maybe the builders are also gonna be a little bit better. And this one compared to Platinum Ranch, even though both of them are being developed out by Centurion American Group, this one seems like it's gonna be tailored more towards, let's just call it custom luxury, but don't think custom as in like partners building, think custom as in like, I mean, I hope they would put Highland Homes or a little bit of a nicer builder in here, but with Centurion American Development Group, it's probably gonna be like D.R. Horton, it's probably gonna be Starlight, it's gonna be those types of builders, especially over on Platinum Ranch. That's gonna be kind of what I expect. But over on this right side, a little bit further back, there's like a couple ponds and reservoirs over here, but a little bit further back is where that is going to be located at. So unfortunately, I can't get around to a lot of the areas here just because of how the setup of the road is. Sorry guys, I'm trying to focus on this. There's a lot of This is just what it's like driving around Gunter, Texas. All right, another con. Roads are gonna be basically gravel roads here and there with some... I'm trying to turn around. All right, we're gonna get back onto Fox Wallace. And then we're gonna head over to Platinum Ranch because I do have more things to talk about with Platinum Ranch, because that's gonna be one of the biggest master plan communities, but just, this will give you a good look. Just on the north side of Fox Wallace Road is where Taylor Ranch is gonna be. Now this neighborhood is gonna be about the same size as Sunset Ranch with Trophy Signature homes. However, I don't think it's gonna come with as many amenities, or at least it's not. Taylor Ranch isn't really being marketed that well, and neither is Platinum Ranch. They're really just talking about the size, what to expect, where it's located, and they've kind of drawn out some of the stuff. Now Platinum Ranch, if you are looking for more of that master plan community with retail, mixed use, restaurants, banks, right outside the neighborhood, Platinum Ranch is potentially gonna be maybe the better option for you, but I just don't feel like the builders in there are gonna be that great for people, but the affordability will. Especially up here in Gunter, Texas. But even up here with a Trophy Signature home costing $450,000, I'd rather be in a townhome over in Frisco or Salina, and there are some townhome options coming more to Prosper, Texas in the future, but you know, if you're wanting to be connected with Frisco, I don't really know if I'd be buying all the way up here, even though the affordability is going to be really good. Platinum Ranch could turn out to be an awesome neighborhood and have great connectivity once they build out the toll road, but once again, that's, and I'm just saying 10 years because it could be quicker, it could be longer than that. The way they talk about these things, everything gets delayed. Just know it is their plan at some point to build that toll road all the way up through here, over more towards the west side of these neighborhoods. But that is gonna take some time. We're now turning back on to 289. Here's that train track again. So if you don't wanna deal with the train at all, just stick to more of the west side of Gunter, Texas, because you won't be dealing with that, or the west side of 289. And I don't think this train track will be a problem once they build out that toll road corridor area, but that's going to be for a while, so that doesn't even, it doesn't even matter me saying that, to be honest with you. Okay, so and there's the train right now. Perfect timing. Right over to the right. Look at it coming through right now. He gave me one. I don't think he gave me one, actually. I think he was just blowing his horn because he was going past a intersection there. Man, I timed that up perfectly, guys. So once again, my point on the train, you're gonna probably get caught up with that. That is hilarious. The timing on that was amazing. This next neighborhood that we're gonna talk about, I think this is gonna be like the prime neighborhood that most people are gonna be trying to get into. I don't know what builders are gonna be in here. It is Century on American Development Group, like I was saying. You can expect it's not, I mean, maybe the builders are good for you, but in my opinion, I'm probably not going to be a fan of these builders. I'd be very surprised. Sometimes Century on American Development Group does put in nice builders into their developments, but sometimes for the most times when they're building a neighborhood with like 4,000 homes, it's usually not like high-end builders. It's more of those cookie cutter builders. And guys, can y'all come up with some more creative comments hating on the cookie cutter homes? I think you guys got to understand the Highland homes and the American Legend homes and those homes, those aren't the cookie cutter homes. More of the D.R. Horton, Lennar, dare I even say some of the Trophy Signature, that's more of the cookie. We got to figure out our definition of cookie cutter homes, because I feel like even when I'm driving through a neighborhood with like partners in building, people are still like, oh man, these cookie cutter homes suck. They're so expensive. I'm like, I don't understand. All right, we're turning back onto Marley. And like right now, they are literally putting in the cables on the power lines for the power, getting it ready for Platinum Ranch. Look at all this. All right, going back over the train track. And there are gonna be a bunch of like little water features and ponds. There's a bunch of reservoirs over here. So this neighborhood should look really nice. You're gonna have a bunch of mixed use stuff on the outside and retail. 29 acres is gonna be residential villas, zoned for 290 units. 277 acres is gonna be mixed use commercial and multifamily. And over 223 acres is going to be dedicated to green space. You can see they're already expanding the road out here, really getting it prepared for breaking ground in Q4 of 2025. So the timeline right now that it's looking like, if you wanted to be into something the quickest and probably the cheapest, Trophy Signature Sunset Ranch is gonna be the option. Then Platinum Ranch is going to be the next option. And then Taylor Ranch is gonna follow about that same time, even though the marketing right now out on the internet wasn't giving me a whole bunch of information on Taylor Ranch. It was just kind of saying it's kind of sister neighborhood of Platinum Ranch. Once again, school in here is gonna be zoned for Gunter Elementary School, Gunter Middle School, Gunter High School. However, looking at the development map, which I'll pop up right now, you can see on this, or maybe you can't, I don't know how clear it is. It's not really good sometimes when I take screenshots of this and post it out. But you can see on this, they've got a bunch of different stuff planned in here, and they do have more schools that are zoned. Now, I don't know if those are gonna be all elementary schools, middle schools. Maybe they build another high school over here. I would imagine a high school is gonna take a little bit longer, and they're gonna have to pull out maybe more bonds for that. But elementary school stuff, things like that are gonna be happening. And Platinum Ranch is gonna be just over here on the right side. So on the north side of Marley Road is where Platinum Ranch is gonna be. So between all these neighborhoods we've driven around, they're all like within 5 minutes of each other. So everything's really close. So in terms of commute times, everything's about the same. Now, if you want the best commute time in the future, Platinum Ranch is gonna give you that best commute time, just because it's also gonna be connected with the toll road corridor. And then some of the pros in here, you've got massive growth potential, prime access and connectivity to the roads around here, because you're gonna have the toll road and you're also gonna be connected to Preston Road. But cons for me is just like timeline, builder options, and I don't know, the builder options might be good in here. So I don't wanna, say anything that potentially could be wrong, but usually the trend on Centurion American Development Group developments, how many times can I say the word development in this? Usually not that hot. And this is gonna be like over 2,000 acres. So really like all this land that you're seeing over towards the right side, this is all gonna be getting developed on. So right now, we got nothing out here. And from this area, like even if you've moved into a house end of 2026, there's still not gonna be a bunch of stuff out here. You're gonna be driving about 20-ish minutes, 25 minutes to like nicer restaurants and things like that. So that is the update on the 3 neighborhoods. So you got one big, huge master plan community coming, and then you got some other smaller boutique neighborhoods coming with some amenities in them. If you guys are on a timeline of looking at new construction, wanting to build from scratch, you're in a budget of like wanting starting prices at 300K, 400, 500K. Maybe you want to be in the master plan community, but you want to be a little bit further up into Gunter because you're working in maybe Salina or up in Van Alstyne or Sherman, Texas. These are going to be some neighborhoods you should put on your radar in the future. Now, you are going to have high tax rates in here, but it is what it is because you're buying in a city that is developing out. That tax rate should go lower over time, just like you saw with Salina, Texas. But send me a text. Give me a call. Would love to work with you and your family on your home search. Even if it's something that's 3 years from now, that you're thinking about moving out here in 3, 4, 5 years. I have people that send me messages and they're like, oh, Daniel, I don't want to waste your time because we're thinking about moving out there in 4 to 5 years from now. No worries, guys. Give me a call. I love just talking real estate with people, especially if you guys are watching my videos and support my channel. send me a text, give me a call. I have all my information down below. Other than that, peace out, y'all, and take it easy as always.
Thanks for checking out my channel and watching that video. I got more videos floating around here. If you're in the market to buy or sell real estate in the DFW area, contact me. I'll be happy to answer any of your questions. Besides that,